Okay, so here we have the finished quilt. It is beautiful. These are those free motion feather corners. It's a feathered star. It's about 94 inches square. One of the corner pieces. And another. And then the border that we did here. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so I didn't hit the record button, apparently, on the other side. So we're gonna do this again. So this is the last square. I took the pins out. So we're gonna create the spine first on the whole square, and then we'll fill it. So, and we're off. Hold on, gotta advance the quilt. There we go. This is easier because I'm on the side where my advancer is. Alright, so. Doesn't really matter where you go with the spine as long as you leave yourself enough room. I think that's perfect. Alright, once again, advance the quilt. I know, it's kind of a pain to do this with my little 18-inch throat, but you know what? My back can take it. Not having to bend over. I'm going to advance that a little bit more so I can get all the way to the bottom as far as I want to go. But anyway, I was saying, my back can take this. So where it's a little bit inconvenient, and a little more. Usually I don't have to advance quite so much. I can do bigger chunks. But I'm trying to keep as much of the quilt in camera. So, alright. So that's where we're going to start our feathers. Let me put that on here. Okay. So, let's see. We've got a spine here, so those feathers are going to come out about halfway, and these feathers can go to about here. So these starting feathers, I'm going to start right about here and have them come like this, and then this will be a nice center point here. So this is a purple air erase marker. And this humidity, it's gone in no time. So let's get started. It's good to mark. I'm going to touch the other side. It's good to mark because it just gives you. You got so many things to think about while you're quilting. Or any kind of an aid you can give yourself to tell you where you need to go, how far you need to go. It's just so beneficial. So I have never found the air erase markers to be a problem as far as removing any kind of a residue on the quilt. In fact, it disappears, especially in this humidity now. Hold on, I'm going to advance the quilt a little more. You're going to get all the way to the bottom. All right, up this square. You got a little bit of a fullness in here, but we can deal with that. All right. So, what was I saying? There he is. What up? It's, you know, rubbing my head and patting my tummy. That's kind of like what quilting and quilting is to me, doing that at the same time. So bear with me. I'll get better with time. I'm going to fill out all your spaces. Just go slow. Stay about a 1/4 inch away from whatever border you have, whether that's different fabric, another spine or another feather. Alright, now look here. We've got a really big space right here. So where would we need to go? That's gonna come about like this and go. We'll have that be our divider there. So, and you can always do something like this. Make this really long, and then do a division feather. And that helps to fill a relatively large space. With reasonable size. Now see, that line has already disappeared, but basically I want to come out right there's the center, so I want to see if I can get up to that point or close to it. Let's try and pick these guys up. Alright, now see what I did right there? This looks a little awkward, but what I did was I came all the way down. I could have stopped right there, but that would have made this look kind of silly. You always want to come back and have your current feather hook into your previous feather. No matter how goofy your feather loop looks, as long as you hook into that previous feather, it will look okay. Okay, I gotta advance a little bit here. Hold on. Okay. Alrighty. So Okay, so this is a big area here that's open. So this is going to swoop in like that. This is going to swoop out like that. This can go like this. And that's going to do that. Like that. So we've just got a little area here. So if we swoop this out to over here, this is our curve. There we go. All right. Getting too close to the edge here, so I gotta move up a little bit. There we go. Alright. See here, these two lines of feathers look good because there's about a quarter to half inch in between the two rows. That defines this and separates it from this. If these lines, these stitch lines, butted right up to each other, you wouldn't be able to see that distinction, and you'd have pretty much just a big old mess. So when you do freehand or free fill feathers like this, make sure you keep some distance between the top edges of feathers. It looks better that way. Okay, onward. Alright, so we gotta align this. Same thing over here. We've got quite a bit of space right here. So we can divide this. This can pull out to here. And we can divide this like this, and maybe, oh, you know what? We're gonna, as we come through here, we're gonna do another loop-de-loop. And we'll do a division feather there. Then we don't have some really big, so we're going to just go halfway here to give room for those other feathers. You can always fill in more time to control the size of your feathers. The key to this is to quilt so slow. And here we are. You're going for your feathers. Division feather here. Nicely. Pretty much filled up on my spine right there. And then put this filled in. I think Angela Walters puts up, people will see the difference in density before I see it too thick of a spine. And since that's that thick already, I think I'm going to tie off here. I try to tie off in a place that already has a dense amount of stitching, because then that is never going to pop out. Those stitches are not going to come out without having to put a whole bunch of lock stitches in there. Again, keep your stitches in your spine as clean as possible. Alright, so we're going to do it this side. Again, I'm getting into a loop here. So halfway, right there's your line, but you really don't want to cross over. But let's get this side first. Alright, I'm going to advance the quilt a little, because you can't see. Okay. All right. Okay, is the sound different? Because I forgot to plug in my mic. So, all right. Sorry about that. All right, so here we are at another one of these loop-de-loops. So we need to figure out how far these feathers are going to go. So basically, right here is our dividing line. So we're going to pull that up, because that's halfway on this side and halfway on that side. So let's go. Again, to the hook into the feather right before it. Leave some distance between the ferns. Come on up. All right, let's advance this a little bit, because I want to see how much. Yeah, you can't see it anymore either. Okay, so like I said before, which you probably didn't hear, the reason I'm advancing and retracting the long arm so much is basically because I want to keep it in the picture. So right here is where we started. We're gonna not butt this up, but we're gonna turn this into a feather and end it like that. So these feathers can come up to about here. So these feathers need to pull up that far. So that's the game plan for getting through this part. So I know I said it earlier, but use that air erase marker. That is a perfect tool to help you not have to think about every last little detail. It's okay to mark. So we're going halfway between this spine and the other spine. And we're gonna butt up to the last feather always. Go halfway to the other spine. Alright, now here, you got a spine here that's going to go out that far. You got a spine here that's going to go out that far. Right here, you have a division here. And then we'll combine that. So there you go. There's our definition for where these feathers are going to go. So that's where that plan is going to happen. There. Doing a free motion feather fill like this really doesn't take that much longer than doing an edge-to-edge design, which actually this is a wonderful edge-to-edge design that can be used on a whole lot of different quilts. And typically I would be going much faster if I weren't recording it. And I'm a little bit nervous about backtracking properly because it's on camera. So it does go pretty fast. It's a really nice option for an edge-to-edge design without using a computer or even a paper pantograph. So if you like free motion work on your quilts and you like feathers, this would be a beautiful overall design that you could do on a whole quilt, or like with this quilt, just on a portion of a quilt. Alright, I gotta extend the, hold on, a little bit. I still have my ruler plate on. So, and that kind of cuts off the space I have. So out of my 18-inch throat, I have about a 12-inch deep sewing space. Which, yeah, can be a hassle, but I don't feel it in my back. My shoulders, you know, that makes a big difference for me, so I'm okay with that. Pull this baby way out. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so here's our loop. So let's extend this so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. We don't need any of that. Okay. Alright, so here's our spine. So with these, again, I can divide this like right about there. So if I do one more here, then I can come back to doing some shorter ones. Again, hook to the previous loop. Yeah. Staying between. Again, tie it to your previous loop. Look how pretty that looks. We're going to stay in the middle here. One out here. Alright, I need to advance again. There we go. Now you can see and I can see, and we're good. Alright, we're going to fill in that corner. Come back to the other side. And here again, go halfway. And we go about half the distance between the spine, portion of the spine you're on, and the spine on the other side. Leave some distance. Again, can you see this? No, you can't see that. Right here. Yeah, you can see that. See the difference between this set of feathers and this set of feathers? You want that distance there, because then you can see the swooping feather. Otherwise, it would just look like a big bunchy mess. Now, same thing here. You got two curves, so we're going to stay on our side of the line. Okay, same thing here. This is gonna round up like that, but we still need to keep distance here. And there we have it. Done. Finished. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I will show you the completed quilt once it's off the machine. But that is a freeform, freehand feather fill, and it is beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so now the last part of this quilt that I'm going to do, I've changed thread colors, I've changed bobbin, and I'm going to do this outer blue border again with feathers because it's quick. And they go fast. So the key to a nice looking feather is a super nice clean spine. So to do this border, I'm going to keep my spine as consistent as possible. And I'm going to use one of these Quilters Groove rulers. It's a Pro Spine Medium by Lisa Callie, and you can find that on the internet at lisacallie.com. So she has a bunch of different sizes, and this is the medium size, which has 2 levels of curves. I'm going to use this big one for the corner, and then I'm going to flip it over and use the gentler curve, I think, for the rest, but that could change. So let's see here. I'll line this up and we're off. Alright, so I'm going to extend this a little, and our corner is done. Hold on. Okay, so that's the one curve. This is the small, which would go like that, which is too small for this quilt. And this is the large. And you know what? Nah, that's too big. You want about wherever your center, see these rulers have a center line. And you want your spine to go up no more than halfway, ideally more of like a third of the way from your center lines to create this curve. I'm not so much worried about the length of it because I can adjust that as I go, but I'm looking at how deep of a curve do I want. So when you're starting out, you can mark the center line on your quilt. I can pretty much eyeball that, so I don't think I need to do that. But this is just too big because, see, I'm going to have teeny tiny little fronds here and really super big fronds here. So this one's not going to work. If I use the other side here, now that's more of a possibility. Okay, so if I use this curve, which is actually lining right up with my circle here in the corner, if I use this curve, I have probably about 1.5 inch high feathers on this side, and I'll have about 2.5 inch feathers on this side, which I'm okay with that. So I think this is the curve I'm going to use. I'm going to hold on to this because I like this curve for my corner. So, but I'm going to put the little one away. So when we get to the center, I'm going to see where we are to see if I need to make any adjustments for getting a nice corner design on the other side. But for right now, I'm going to use this. I love the markings on this ruler. I have a 90-degree point right here, and I have a parallel line right here, and I'm going to keep this parallel line. Let me see if I can, about 1/4 inch from that border seam. Let me adjust this a little bit. Maybe you can see better. Nope, that's going the wrong way. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so we're off. I am gonna make sure that stays nice and parallel. So I'm gonna go this far. I'm gonna stop there. Reposition my ruler, just slide it over. Again, line up my parallel line on the bottom here. And so I'm going to go all the way around, completely around the whole quilt, doing exactly this. Get my spine in place, and then I'm going to come back and do one more pass around the whole quilt. And do the feathers, and I will be done. So this is a bit of stopping and starting, but once I get the spine in place, and look here, we are at, let me show you when we get there. I'm going to keep going here. And you want to be careful with this because you're following a curve. But look at where we're at. This right here is the center line of the quilt. I can tell because there's the seam line for the star, and that's the center. And we're about 1 inch away from that. So I'm going to just scooch this over so that my end point is right there in line with the center right there. So now we have gone perfectly the half of the quilt. So I know that if I do that, if I come here and I go 1 inch, if I add 1 inch to the end of this, then I will end up the same on the other side, and I will be able to do a perfect corner. I love using these rulers. I love using this technique. Now again, we're going to add 1 inch like we did on the other side. There's about 1 inch. Okay, now we should end up in the corner and we will get a perfectly symmetrical corner. This is going to be awesome. I'm just getting back on the same. Okay. But this is a way to do a nice feather, and again, zero marking. I hate to mark on quilts because you never ever know if the marks are going to come out. The air erasable pen is wonderful. I have never had a problem with it. I have talked to a number of online instructors, and they've never had a problem with it. So I'm comfortable doing that. All right, here. I kind of screwed up here. All right, we're going to make this a shorter wave so that we can be on the upswing at this border point here. So we're going to shorten this a bit. And again, you'll never see it once you're, I'm going to put that aside. Let me go down and get the other. All right. So here we are. This is my corner. I'm going to try and be straight up and down. There we go. Just like the other side. I'm going to come in just a little bit because the distance here, well, yeah, we're going to be right. And we're going to go there. Okay. Ta-da, ta-da. And we are, again, we're going to line this up so that this line is the same, about 1/4 inch off. And we are good to go. And the beauty of this ruler, it's a 12-inch ruler. So typically, it will go as once I get the first one going, I can go an entire ruler before having to advance. So, but hold on, I gotta go advance. Okay, now you can do this on a domestic too. You can use the ruler because it's a 12-inch ruler. Now we're going to move that down and hook that there, line up again. So I'm going to leave that right there. Let's see, once I get my first one done, I can go the entire length of the ruler without running into an issue. So there we go. I have my line here lined up, 1/4 inch from that seam. That I'm going to do that consistently around the whole quilt. The whole quilt.